What is the most important lesson you've learned from someone else? Never ever care about people. They are malicious, selfish beings that only care about fulfilling their needs, urges, and impulses. They never care. They never are there for anyone. They destroy, they bring down everyone with them. They are capable of monstrosities without any second thought. They are the most violent creatures on the earth. They only consume and consume. Everything you have they will consume. They trick you into anything possible for their gain. They only thrive to bring down everything with them. That you really do attract what you are. I remember one of my favorite elementary school teachers tried saying some form of this lesson to me as a kid. I still remember it to this day. I was pretty socially awkward and pretty anxious, so that didn't let me make the friendships I wanted. Basically, in the end though, after all of this, I like to think everything you put out into the world comes back to you. One of the most important life lessons I've learned from someone else is to be grateful for what I have and not to take anything for granted. This lesson came from my grandfather, who passed away in 2018. He was a humble and generous man who always appreciated the simple things in life. He taught me to be thankful for every day, every meal, every opportunity, and every person that crossed my path. Back in the 90s, I used to work for a vending photocopier company. One day I was training a few people, one of which was a former police officer. Don't steal the money for 2 reasons. 1, some pretty little thing will spend it for you, and you won't have access to the money, or 2, you will be arrested and you still won't have access to the money. You are alone. You can take this statement as, you are alone, or you are alone. You are your own worst enemy or best friend. Choose wisely, because no one is coming to save you from yourself. Learn and love to live with yourself. Invest in your health. Invest in your education. Invest in you. Advice from an ex-people pleaser. I had a boss once who told me that people who constantly use the F word do not have a good grasp of the English language. There are so many words that can describe what they are feeling, but they either do not have the knowledge or they are simply too lazy to use the appropriate words. Instead, they just rely on curse words. It's better to be happy alone than unhappy in a relationship. Basically all his friends because he was desperate and lonely. Now he's stuck in a relationship he hates and has no friends because he chose being in a relationship over not being in a relationship. It's always going to be you versus you. Self against self, so we are our worst enemies. We put ourselves in a box or others put us in one, and we don't even realize it till you start questioning yourself and who you are. At the end of the day, the single most fundamental truth, no matter what life you lead, you are alone. No one will care about your well-being as much as you will. Always have a plan to keep yourself safe. You have to hold up your end of the room. If I feel 20 and someone else is overjoyed at 11, both of us still have to interact with the world and with each other. At 1, everyone meets there. I've seen quite a few normal people derail their lives by becoming methods, so that taught me to avoid it. Or sometimes they even told me what their lives had become and not to do it. The most important lesson I've learned is that autocorrect can turn a simple chat into a soap opera faster than you can say quack instead of. Well, you know, the art of using a plunger is a metaphor for life sometimes. All you need is a little push and pull to get things flowing smoothly again. To just be happy without a reason, because being sad without a reason is no way to live your life. Random drunk dude at a biker bar. Tell your kids you love them. Tell them so often that it annoys them. And then tell them some more. Leave no room for doubt. If you look for the light, you will often find it. If you look for darkness, that is all you will see. Uncle Iro. My dad always said keep your cool and do the best you can, and that applies to literally everything. In life, you're not responsible for what happens to you, but you are responsible for how you choose to handle it. It's nice to get help from others from time to time, but don't go around and be fully dependent on it. Even the nicest, friendliest, generous person you know can be toxic. Contradicting, but yeah. Never do a deal when you're desperate. Business, relationship, financial, personal, whatever. To take things with a grain of salt. Don't completely believe in something you've been told. I learned from my family that family is not necessarily your safe haven. Don't shit where you eat, and by that he meant don't ever date co-workers. Don't let a guy choose you. You choose who you want to be with. Don't bother with other opinions unless they pay your bills. Not to help people who ain't willing to help themselves.